You are listening to the Rewrite the Rules podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Beth.
I'm Natalie.
And I'm Harriet.
Rewrite the Rules podcast releases a new episode every Monday, and we're all about helping you achieve a happier and healthier relationship with food and your body.
We're real people with real life experiences, so you can expect us to be keeping it raw and real in each and every episode.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe to us on whatever podcast platform you use, and share the love with a friend that you think will love this podcast.
Now, let's get on to the episode.
Hi everyone, welcome back.
Hello everyone. Yes, welcome back to episode 34 of the Rewrite the Rules podcast. We're all back together. It feels like it's been forever, but yeah, can you believe it? You have all three of us today, and I'm so happy to be back doing this episode with both of you.
Yeah, I can't even remember the last time it was all three of us, which is bad. I mean, we have had amazing guests on, but it is amazing.
It makes up for it.
It makes up for it, but it's still amazing to be back, the three Powerpuff Girls. But because, of course, it is all three of us, today's episode, we thought we would bring you an upbeat, positive episode. Not that our others aren't upbeat, but we really want this episode to leave you feeling happier, more motivated, more inspired. And that's exactly what we're here to talk to you about.
Exactly. So we want to bring you an episode on all the things we are loving right now that are sort of contributing to making us feeling healthier and happier, both mentally and physically. So we just want to give you some ideas on things that maybe you could do within your journey to just help you find a bit more inner happiness, and also just contribute to feeling healthier within your bodies, but in the safest way possible.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to share our tips.
Yeah.
And hear yours.
Yeah. I mean, these are things that we've been loving like recently as well. So like the month of like October, November. But of course, you can listen to this and take benefit whenever you're listening to it. But it is like a right now kind of thing, which is cool.
Yeah. And I think as well, like, I know, Harriet, obviously, you live in a completely different part of the world to know that.
Yeah.
But like, I know for sure in England now, like the weather changing, it getting darker way earlier, and you know as well it's going to start getting darker earlier, so it's like it's going into that season of like you can tend to start feeling just different mentally. You know, the weather can really affect you, so you know, hopefully these things will make you feel better for now, but like you say, Harriet, you can take this as inspiration for any time.
Yeah. And I think this is actually the perfect time to do an episode like this, where people may be feeling like they're slipping out of doing behaviors that are making them feel good, happy and healthy, and starting to, you know, like thinking Christmas is here, so I'll start in January. Like, I feel like that mentality is kind of already here. So we can break that pattern today.
Definitely, but doing it in ways that are the kindest to you, you know.
Absolutely.
There's not anything radical here. We're not, you know, pressuring anyone. It's just things that we really find help us.
Definitely. Yeah. Nat, I'm dying. I feel like I haven't spoken to you in so long. So can you tell me?
I know.
Yeah. So you go first.
For all of you listeners out there, like, you're probably like, you speak all the time. We do talk all the time, but also like this has probably been the longest period of time where we haven't, like we say, we haven't done an episode altogether. So we're all hearing this for the first time, like we do this, and it's like, oh, exciting to hear, and we get ideas from each other as well. So my first one is going to be, you're probably going to be like, oh my God, I've heard this a million times. But for me, I fall in and out of this sort of cycle of doing it, and I'm sure that a lot of people do, but that's journaling. And I feel like I only lean on it when I'm in a place of feeling really like I need it. You know, if I'm feeling low or I'm feeling really anxious, that's when I'll be like, it's time to journal. But I'm actually trying to practice it more in times when I'm actually doing well, or I'm feeling really good, or I'm feeling positive, motivated, because I feel like no matter what, it's always going to help me. And like anything in life, you know, when you're trying to practice, say, body positivity, maybe you deal with anxiety and you feel like you're going through a spell of feeling like you haven't had anxiety for a long time, stopping a practice, you know, it kind of defeats the object, because you should be trying to practice it whenever. you know, when you're feeling good, when you're feeling bad, because when you're doing it when you're feeling good, then when you have those moments of feeling, oh my God, I'm really not feeling good right now, that practice that you've done beforehand is really going to sort of kickstart you when you're struggling your most, you know, at your most. But yeah, it's just trying to do it more and make it a part of my everyday, because I really do feel like when I take the time, it's more taking the time for myself. And I think that a lot of people, you'll just get up, you'll be like, right, I've got to get to work, I've got to rush. You get home and you're like, God, going to repeat the same day all over again. Whereas taking time for yourself and making that a practice, again, that's really taking care of your mentality. And everyone is important in your life, but putting yourself as a main priority and doing things like this, it doesn't have to be very long. You know, sometimes I just wake up and I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, or that I'm excited for, or I write one thing that I really enjoyed in my week if I didn't get to do it every day. And I feel like that just, I don't know, it starts my day in a really good way. I try and do it more in the morning. I know some people do it in the evening, but it just kickstarts my day. Yeah, that's one thing.
Is your journaling process like, so you said like sometimes you write like a gratitude list or like kind of, yeah, like ask yourself a question. Is that normally how you do it? Or do sometimes you just like get all your thoughts on down?
Yeah, so sometimes it will be a thing of I'll put all my thoughts down, because like I say, that I struggle with anxiety, you know, sometimes more than others. And I feel like a way of me really sort of sorting through that is I need to get out what's in my head. And when I see it written down, it kind of makes me realize that these are just feelings and thoughts and emotions that I have made up. They're not facts, you know, and when they're stuck in your head, for some reason, you can't really work through that. So I'll try and put it down all on paper when I'm feeling that way. But if I feel like, oh, I don't really have a lot of time today, or, you know, I've got to get ready now, it will be like more of a gratitude list, because I just want to sort of start my day in a positive way.
I love that. That's cool.
Yeah,
I think little
but
habits like that just helps keep you grounded as well.
Yeah.
yeah. But Beth, what is your first thing in contributing to making you feel happier?
I feel like there's no surprise here, especially if you follow me on Instagram. My first thing that makes me feel the best mentally and physically is dancing. I feel like we should start a game and just like take a shot every time Beth mentions dancing and just dance. And we would all be smashed. But oh my God, have I been loving it, especially just this week. Obviously, we know I've got a passion for it, but I'd sort of set myself a goal in November to improve my cardio health. And this goal didn't just like jump out of nowhere. I walk my lovely little Labrador Lola every single day, and there are many hills on our walk. And I just want to be able to walk up the majority of the hills and not sort of feel out of breath. It was something that I was like noticing, sort of, especially in the summertime, just not feeling as fit as usual. So I was like, right, I want to improve my cardio. And I think something that we preach so much on this podcast is that all forms of exercise are valid forms of exercise. And I just wanted to pick something that was really fun and just didn't feel like an effort to turn up for. And please don't be fooled, okay? Just Dance is so intense at times. And I was literally left, I was telling you girls, I was left with like full body aches the next day, just trying to get maximum points on this Katy Perry song. But it just made me feel so good. And especially for the past few months, but especially last week, dancing is sort of the first and biggest thing that has been positively contributing to not just my physical health, but like mentally, it's just made me feel the best version of me this week.
I love that. And I really, Beth, when are you going to get the affiliate code, the discount code?
I think if this podcast is going to be sponsored by anyone, it's going to be Just Dance.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Any like Ubisoft marketing executive listening to this podcast right now, we are your girls. Okay.
Imagine if next year you hear us say, and this episode is sponsored by Just Dance. And
oh my God.
We're going to put it out into the universe.
Guys,
come on.
Come on. We have to do this. That is a 2023 goal.
Absolutely. It's so much fun. And I just think things like that, when you're exercising and it doesn't even feel like exercise, that is the best thing.
Absolutely.
100%. And I so can understand where you're coming from. Obviously, dancing being something that I've done or was a previous job, it really is that thing of you don't even realise that you're exercising. And that's a win in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? If you're trying to improve your health and it's not painstakingly boring, or it's not, you don't feel like, I don't know, it's taking you away as well. That's the thing. I think with dancing, when you can have it's really troubling you in life, and when you dance, it can literally make you forget about it. Like for however long that you're doing it, it can take you away, and that's when you know that it's really doing good for you, because again, it's taking time for yourself.
Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, Harriet, what is your first thing that you are absolutely loving this past couple of weeks?
So the thing that I'm loving is actually not on my original list, and I've actually only started it yesterday, and it's a bit rogue, but basically my issue in life at the moment is my phone. It keeps running out of storage, and I know people are going to relate to this, but I find myself in the conundrum of what memory from the past should I delete so that I can now capture new memories. And yesterday I had this idea of creating a private Instagram account, so just creating a new Insta, making it completely private. And I just thought, I'm just going to capture all my day-to-day memories on this Instagram account, where Instagram can be in charge of the storage. And I was just having so much fun with it yesterday. I created, obviously on Instagram, you can create highlights, and I created a mood highlight. I'm still into my tarot cards. So I made a tarot highlight. Did some tarot work yesterday, and I just thought this is a really cool way of journaling almost, and you can create a highlight for each month. So yeah, it's really something for my future self, so that I can look back at all my memories and it can be just all saved in one space and really easily organized, and I don't have to worry about storage. So that's my thing that I'm loving. And so I hope that Instagram doesn't go down, because then I'm effed. But
oh, I love that. I think I completely get that feeling when it's you're looking through and then it's run out of storage, and you're oh God, I've got to go through all of these photos and I've got to take ones out that I don't really want to delete. So that's such a good, I would never have thought of that. Never.
Yeah, honestly, my phone is about to combust and I'm really scared. And I don't want to delete, I'm literally deleting memories from the past to make room. And I don't want to delete, even if it's just food pics or stupid stuff. It's those are the things I actually want to remember, because I wish my old phone combusted. Combusted? Is that a word? It died because it just ran out of storage, and then it just absolutely just died. And I'm regretful actually that I've lost all of those memories. So yeah.
And I feel taking inspiration from that, something that I've always wanted to do as well, is just print more pictures off. That old school thing of having a photo album, that I love that my mum has kept photo albums of each of us when we were babies, and then the big ones. That's given me inspiration to further then go and just print off more photos, because photos are so important. There's such a thing of feeling nostalgic, or you can look at a photo and you can literally put yourself in that place, and that can give you such happiness.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also love the fact that obviously with social media, and especially Instagram, it gets so much negative stick. So it's so nice to hear you creating something that can be so positive, as if you're taking the power back from social media and just using it to actually just serve you. I think is beautiful.
Yeah, it's free, and it's for no one else but me. So
love it. Shall I go on to my second one?
Yeah.
Shall I share my second thing that I'm loving? Whenever I mention this, honestly, my boyfriend is sick of hearing about this. And he's one day I'm going to come into your room and you're just going to have incense burning and you're just going to be But I am really into meditation, and specifically meditations using crystals. So I'll give you a little, I could talk about it forever, but I'm really not going to go like into this because we would be here forever. A little sort of fact, or how crystals can help you as practitioners of crystal healing. So this is what this is when you're using crystals in any part of your life. You could have a crystal, you could walk around with it in your pocket, you could just carry it around in your bag. You could wear it, have a necklace, like a bracelet. But yeah, practitioners of crystal healing believe that they can boost low energy, they can prevent bad energy, release blocked energy, and transform a body's aura. So, specifically, crystals can help with blockages. We have 7 chakras, and I've got 2 examples here, but an example is our root chakra. So this provides the foundations of our being. So this keeps us grounded, and it helps with, it keeps us confident. And another chakra is a heart chakra. So this allows us to be open. So it can open our heart to love, compassion, and joy. And like I have specific crystals, I have a rose quartz crystal or a jade crystal, which can help with your heart chakra. So basically, if you're feeling any blockages in your life, these crystals, when you meditate with them, are supposed to help. And I swear by them, like literally. And some people may be like, well, it don't work for me, but I feel like when you truly believe in something, and I don't have one doubt about this, I meditate with them and I instantly feel like a calmness come over me. And again, it's for some people it could just be the act of doing a meditation, and it's 5 minutes, you're in your own space, you don't have any outside sort of noise coming in, and I'll normally put like a bit of music on, I'll light a candle. And again, if you've had a bad day the day before, that act of just really trying to clear your mind, even though sometimes that can be quite hard, it just really helps. And yeah, it just makes me laugh because whenever I talk about it with my boyfriend, he's like, what are you going on about? But it's something that I love. And for anyone, look, I've even got this book here because this is how much I love it. Look how beautiful this book is.
Oh my gosh, I love
It's called The
it.
Crystal Code, and it's like I absolutely love it. So for anyone that's
So
wanting
invested.
to sort of, anyone that wants to sort of delve into that, this book gives you like step by step everything. So
Oh my
that's what I'm loving.
gosh. It's like do I call it an obsession with, let's just call it an obsession with tarot cards. And when my boyfriend comes in and I'm like, all these cards around me, and I'm like with my tarot book, like, what does it mean? I love it though, Nat, honestly. And what crystals do you have? Like, I would love to know that.
I have got so many, so I've got a box, and because everyone knows that I love them so much, like my brother, there's a lady and she gives you cards basically. So you explain who you want these crystals to be for, you explain their personality, what they struggle with, maybe what they want for the future, and she gives you specific crystals for that person, and she gives you cards as to say how they're going to help you. So yeah, at the moment I have on my side rose quartz, which is, like I said there, it's opening your heart to love, compassion, joy. And I feel like even when I'm sort of in a good place, I feel like you can always welcome more joy into your life. So there's always one on my side. There's always one that
I freaking love that. I actually would love to do a whole, I would imagine we can get like a crystal specialist on the podcast.
Yeah, because that's what I was showing you, the podcast that I listened to.
Yeah, we actually got someone in mind who we really want on.
We really, really want on. But honestly, even if you just start with one crystal, I can't explain it. Maybe it's just because I believe in it so much, but I think meditating is just amazing as well. So I know, obviously, Harriet, with your episode that you did, and it's such a lovely thing to do for yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Beth, what are you loving? Your second thing?
So my second thing is like arts and crafts. And I know this might sound initially strange because I'm not an artsy person at all. But for those who don't know, I'm getting married in 2024. And I decided that I wanted to partake in some DIY, just like attempting to make things myself, like save the dates and invites and stuff, just with the intention of just trying to enjoy the process. hopefully I'm only ever going to get married once. So I just wanted to make the most of this process. So little did I realize how relaxing and therapeutic it would be. I feel like I'm someone that struggles with having effective time away from my phone. Even when I try and have 5 minutes away, I'm always like trying to click it and glance in, and it's never effective time. I never feel like I've properly had a break, and especially times where I'm feeling particularly down or anxious, that often correlates for me with excessive use of my phone. So having to be so hands-on with things and to actually concentrate on something for a large period of time to actually get it done has been so beneficial. It's been so calming for me. And I really didn't expect it. And I think that's why it's been such a positive force for me like the past couple of weeks. It's really like I feel like it's boosted my mood. I feel like that's then benefited like my energy levels as a result of that. So I think it's just made me realize, obviously, not everyone wants or needs to get into arts and crafts, but just like finding an activity that gives your mind a rest, something as simple as reading or just trying to like make something. The benefits on myself mentally that I've seen the past couple of weeks, I've been so genuinely surprised by, hence why it has made its number 2 on the list.
I love that.
Me too. That's given me inspiration.
Yeah, I really want to get some paints and like a canvas and just go at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've seen people just painting on canvases and just like doing anything, and it just looks so calming and therapeutic. And I just didn't really expect it. I was just like, right, we're just going to try out some DIY, just try and bring the cost down, sorry. And it was just so enjoyable. And I was like, wow, I haven't looked at my phone for like over an hour now, and I just felt so good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Me too. Me too. I'm definitely going to be trying to find some things that I can do because, like you say, I am exactly the same. I try and take time away from my phone, and then I find it in my hands, and I'm like, how did that happen? Whereas if you can take attention to something else where you're completely immersing yourself in it, that's not like sort of screen time because it can be relaxing watching telly and things, and watching a film but when you're doing something that's actually sort of keeping your brain active but you're getting a release, and it's like that, those happy endorphins, isn't it, as well as seeing something that you've made and the end product of it.
Yeah, it's literally like a 5-in-1. It has so many benefits.
Yeah, but yes, Harriet, what's your next one?
My next one is a 2-in-1. So it's kind of similar to Beth's one. I've been trying to find something that I can escape from like the work world and social media, but that is listening to podcasts that have nothing to do with like the work I do or nothing to do, just like really random topics. And I've been listening to this 5-part series on Princess Diana by this podcast called You're Wrong About, and it's so good. And each episode was an hour and a half, so I had 90 minutes times 5. And I guess it's quite a random thing to listen to, and it really just helped me escape, I guess, in like a really good way. And I thought it was really, really good series as well. I'm really interested in. And I said it was a 2-in-1 because I've also been trying to listen to like those kind of podcasts whilst like going on walks, because I'm trying to increase my steps and just like move more. But I love walking whilst listening to something. It's just so different than like just walking in silence. So yeah, I'm trying to like listen to podcasts that help me escape, but in like a nice, mindful, enjoyable way, and increase my steps at the same time. So that's kind of like my 2-in-1. And I've been doing this for like the past 2 weeks, and it's just been so nice. So nice. And I definitely want to do it more, and I want to listen to more just like absolutely random podcasts. There's also this shout out to another podcast show. It's called Stuff You Should Know. They do an episode on like the most random topics. Like they have a whole episode on mosquitoes. Random. So random.
So much so. You are so right though. It just really helps you detach and just gives your brain a break. Like that's how I simplify it. It just gives your mind a rest from everything else. Like I love true crime podcasts like Crime Junkie and like Red Handed. And I feel like My Favorite Murder is like a really popular one that loads of people will know. But stuff like that, it just helps you take a break from like health and fitness and wellness, every aspect that we sort of see and talk about every single day. You just get like an hour to just go for a walk at the same time. I love multitasking.
I know, multitasking walks. I'm actually really here for. Of course, you can go for a walk and it just be an enjoyable walk, but I actually just love walking and doing something. Like I love listening to a voice note, or even if I am listening to like a workshop that I've signed up for, if I'm going to do that, I would much prefer to listen to it whilst like walking on the treadmill or like walking outside, rather than just sit in my office and just sit and watch it. At the moment, I'm just finding that really hard. I'm really enjoying being like on the move. Yeah, I'm enjoying it and it makes me feel good. So I'm loving that.
Yeah, and it's doing that as well. I think, if it's anything to do with sort of work, or like you say, if you're listening to a workshop, probably the fact of being out and walking is so much more energizing than sitting down and being sort of sat for however long. And again, it's, doing good for your body, but in a way that is best for you.
Yeah.
It's not, some people just really don't like running, or it's not listening to a podcast while you're doing 8 miles. It's like, do you know what, I'm probably going to benefit best by going for a walk. It makes me feel good, and this is actually doing good for my mind and my body. So this is what all of these tips are about. We've done exercise and all of that probably in a way that wasn't good for us, and now we're all about doing exercise in the way that makes us feel our best.
Yeah, because I don't like intense exercise. I just don't. I like yoga and I like walking and I like trampolining, but I don't really go trampolining as much as I would like to. I've done the HIIT and the running and whatever, and I know and I believe that some people love it, but I just don't. So I don't do it, and that's just it. And I think if more people looked at exercise in that way, more people would enjoy exercise, and probably more people would move in general.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say about that.
Love that one. So yeah, I'll move on to my last one, and sort of keeping in the theme of exercise. For me, the thing that I've been doing and I've really, really been trying to practice is rest days. And I'm not ashamed to admit that exercise is probably the thing that I have struggled with the most on sort of my journey of healing my relationship with food, exercise, all of that. And I think that I probably told you girls that because exercise has been such a part of my life, I started dancing at the age of 3. I was constantly going to dancing after school. I went to dance college for 2 years. I worked consistently doing dancing for 3 years and then had a break. So that was in this world of, I was told, or I was sort of told myself, no matter how tired your body is, you still got to get up and dance. You still got to do this show. You can't just suddenly say, oh, I'm really tired today, because you're not going to get paid. And college was intense. It was like waking up at 8, going home at 4:30, doing literally dance classes all day. And I feel like my body almost kind of got used to it. But as I've gotten older, that really stuck with me in a sense of, I just didn't give myself rest days. And it started to fill me with sort of this feeling of guilt if I didn't do exercise. And I've always really tried to heal that, sort of definitely within the 4 years that I've been, recovering in the early stages, and even more so now. But because a lot of the time I go running with my brother, or, like I said, I do run groups and things like that. So I feel like, oh, I really want to go because he wants to go. If I do not want to do something now, I will just flat out say no. And I really, really have to, it feels like quite an alien thing, but I really have to sit myself, say for 10 minutes, and I have to be like, how do I feel today? Do I feel really tired? What am I doing tomorrow? Am I going to get anything out of this? Or am I actually going to benefit more and feel better from just putting my dressing gown on and sitting in front of the telly and having some food? And I can't even tell you how good I felt. I've always taken rest days, but I'm doing it a lot more now. And yeah, it just felt really good. And I don't know why, it just felt like, I don't know, I feel a bit like proud almost. Like, I don't know, this is something that I really haven't done. Never would I take a week off, you know? And, you know, I think it kick-started a lot because also I got really ill. So I got COVID and I've had it, I don't know, maybe 3 times now. And I'm just like, I had to take maybe 3 weeks where I didn't do anything. And I was like, the world didn't stop, you know? So take those rest days, people.
Rest. I'm so glad you feel proud, because rest is productive.
Yeah.
It can be just as productive as moving can be. So we should honor it in that same way.
Yeah.
So I love
Definitely.
And I think it's the same as well. If you don't allow your body to rest, your body will find a way to make you rest. And you don't want to get to that point. But I love that you said about having like a whole week off, because when you say rest days, people will instantly think, oh, 1 or 2 days a week, that's a rest day. Sometimes you do need to take a week or a couple of weeks off from moving your body, and that's totally okay as well. And just moving the guilt and stress from that. I think you really have to like relearn what rest means, that it's not a day that you allocate each week. Because like when I was on my journey, I was like, right, every Wednesday is going to be a rest day. How do you know that your body is going to want to rest on a Wednesday? It's so important to just become a little bit more intuitive. And exactly like you said, Natalie, just ask yourself, how do I feel right now? What do I want right now? Like, what does my body need right now? That might be going out for a run, but it might be just putting your dressing gown on and sitting in front of the TV. And that's the most productive thing you can do for yourself. So yeah, I really love that.
I love that. Beth, what's your next one?
My next and last one is very short and sweet, but it's my morning coffee. I love it so much, and it's just like a stable part of my morning routine. But it's not just enjoying the coffee, it's like the process of making it for me. I recently bought myself like a bean to cup, I think it's called a bean to cup machine. It's like the whole process of making the coffee, grinding the beans, actually doing it all myself, and having like my own little Costa coffee station in my kitchen. It's just such a lovely and calming process. And yeah, that's just like something that I love and I look forward to every day, and makes me feel good. And it's just like my 10-15 minutes that is mine, that isn't, looking after the dog or, doing something for my partner. It's just my time to just enjoy and be for me. And yeah, short and sweet.
It's the little things in life. And I say this to my clients all the time. Like, if you like love your morning coffee, really like focus on that. Like have that in your mind about how this 15-20 minutes is yours, and really like embrace it. It's so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just, I used to really struggle finding things that I was grateful for. So just adding my morning coffee to that list really started to help me find the little things in my day that are just like my pockets of peace in each day. And that's what I really try to find, and just be like grateful for every little moment.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. You need to like do a video of like your coffee making process, because I'm off. I don't really get inventive with my coffee. It's just coffee and a dash of milk. So if you can give me inspiration on zhuzhing up my morning coffee, then
absolutely. I'll do coffee tutorials and cocktail tutorials. Those are 2 things
yes.
I'm good at.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I'd love to see that too.
Yeah. What is your last thing you are loving, Harriet?
My last thing is also short and sweet, and that is chia seed pudding. And I did put this I put this on my Instagram story the other day, and I actually got like a bit of a mixed reaction. Some people were like, I really want to love it, but it just looks gross. But guys, I used to think chia seed is disgusting. And you know what? That's because I made it with ingredients that I didn't like. I used to make it with nothing wrong with cacao powder, but it does taste a little bit like dirt. You know what I mean? It can taste a little bit like earthish. Back in the day, I used to only allow myself to have like stuff like that. And I think I had like almond milk, which I don't like almond milk. But now I have it with like really thick coconut milk. And it's the most comforting thing ever. And I've been having it with mango. I've been having it with passion fruit. I'm just in experimentation mode with it. And I sit on my sofa with a blanket on, eating my chia pudding, and it's bliss. I'm in heaven. So I really recommend you all try
was
it.
about to say, sounds like bliss. Sounds like pure bliss.
I really want to try it, but as a very picky eater, I just can't. But like I see you eating and enjoying it, and honestly, I'm just living through you right now because I just can't build up the confidence to do it myself. But I'm glad
it is that
all
thing, isn't it?
agreed.
It's the texture.
It's a texture. It's not the taste, it's the texture.
Texture.
And it's just like how it looks as well. And
yeah. I hear you. And I hear you. But one day I would love to come to your house, hold your hand, and we'll do it together.
Okay. We'll do a taste test for the podcast.
Chia pudding initiation.
Honestly. But if any of you are interested in making it, so simple. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, half a cup of your milk of choice. I use coconut milk and I think that's elite, but you choose your milk of choice, mix it all together, chuck it in the fridge. You can do it overnight, obviously, but even after a couple of hours, it all like molds and blends and expands, and that's it. It's so easy.
So easy.
Yeah. You like it, Nat? You like chia seeds?
I love it. I live it. I live chia seed. No.
That's me at the moment. I live it.
I love it. I love it, but I haven't had it in ages. So when I saw you having it, I was like, oh my God, I used to have that all the time. And it's something easy. And I think as well, it's just experimenting. It's finding new things that you love. And I am the kind of person, you give me anything sweet, like I will make room for it. I have to have something sweet after dinner. So I'm definitely going to be having that.
Yeah,
again.
you can mix it with protein powder if you've got like a nice flavored protein powder, or like Beth, your little drops, my protein drops. You can drop them in. But I feel like Beth, I need to be there with you because I feel like it's the texture for you. I feel like
just when Nat said she was like experimenting with food, and I'm thinking that phrase doesn't even enter my vocab ever.
Oh, one day it's gonna happen and we'll film it.
I don't realize how abnormal I am until I spend time with normal people.
No, I get it. A few, because someone else messaged me on Instagram, was like, I really want to try it, but like, what does it taste like? What's the texture? And I haven't heard from them since. After
they tried it and they
I like really sold it. Like I was like, this was on Instagram DM. I was like, honestly, you have to try it. Like add fruit, blah, 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 blah. Let me know. Like, please let me know. And I haven't heard from this person since next Thursday.
We're all just living through you now.
Tumbleweed just rolling through.
Yeah.
I love that. That made me feel so good, guys. Just listening to your sort of things that you're loving, and I'm taking inspiration from those as well.
Yeah, that was so uplifting.
You're all coming around to play Just Dance.
Yes, Just Dance and chia seed pudding.
And cocktails, hopefully in the summertime.
Cocktails.
That would be so nice.
Yeah, we have to.
And then finish with a crystal meditation.
Yes.
To calm us down.
Please, yes, we have to do that.
But we hope you enjoyed it as well, guys. We always say, we welcome your ideas. If there's anything that you want us to cover, if you have any questions, please DM us, contact us. But it was lovely having us three back together.
It was. Oh, thank you, girls. That was lovely.
Thank you so much. We, as always, appreciate you taking the time to listen to us, guys. And we shall see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye.